Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. This video is packed with fun stuff. We have an unboxing. We have manic journal mess making where I make 30 journals in one go, and you can too because we have notes. Oh yes, we do. We have stuff at home and we have inspiration, or at least we will after this video. So let's jump right in. I'm quickly going to do an unboxing of all the goodies that I got from Tapeology. I'm going to show you things one by one very quickly because I want this video to be about creating stuff with the stuff rather than just showing you stuff. So I will quickly show you the stuff and I will have individual links in the description box in order that I show you in case it's something that you want to purchase. All right, first thing I want to show you is this accessories kit. I'm getting lots of ideas just looking at this. Look how cool this is. I can make something like this. It's like a shadow box, only you can take the stuff out. How cool. Then we have these little bits and pieces, beautiful for journal covers. And this, look how beautiful this is. Then there's this little bottle of brads and bits and pieces. I'm going to use that today. A little bit of bling, book plates, I love them. And then we have some wooden buttons, gorgeous, and a whole bunch of dried flowers. Love that. Next up, we have lace paper doilies. Look how beautiful these are. We have circles, we have squares and rectangles, and look at how gorgeous all of these are. Absolutely stunning. Looks like there's two of everything. So I will be using this today. Then there's this. I love this because I use so much of this. This is a twine pack, and you might have seen me using this kind of thing in my video, so I can never have enough of this kind of thing. Love it. Look at this, absolutely stunning. Here's a most recent example of how I was using that kind of thing. This is in my video where I used old towels and made these journal toppers, and you can see that it's beautiful, that trim twine. It's called twine, hemp twine pack. Then there's this butterfly embellishment pack. I use so much of this. I love butterflies, and look, I like lace. It's beautiful, lace fabric type of a thing. Then there are rub-on stickers that come with this calico or muslin fabric, and so you can use the rub-on stickers on really any surface. If you would like to see a separate video on just the rub-on stickers ideas and what you can use them on, please let me know in the comments down below. Then we have the textured strings. I took everything out of the packaging so it's not too loud, but there's this kind of thing. Look at this. There's beads and little beads in here which you can't see, but you can feel this sequin. Lots of fun stuff over here. Look at this, how cool. I'm thinking Easter bunny when I see this for some reason. Beautiful, look, absolutely gorgeous. So this is a pack. You get these. Next we have the cotton twine pack, or baker's twine as we know it. And I use a lot of this actually in my projects, but I only have the red and white and black and white. So this is awesome to have a selection of all these different colors. And I'm going to use this today. Another thing I'm going to use today is this neutral tone mesh tape pack. So you get all these different beautiful mesh type of material. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this one. How beautiful. And of course, look at this. I just have so many ideas of how I'm going to use this and what I will be making today. Sometimes just looking at things and taking things out and kind of, I don't know, touching them gives you an idea on, just gets your creative juices flowing. I love this. This shall be used today. Next up, we have the pastel toned mesh pack, same as the one that I've just shown you, but this one is a little bit different because it's not, how should I see the difference between this? Oh, look how gorgeous this is. And the one that I've shown you before, this is a lot sturdier than this delicate lace. Look at how beautiful this is. My goodness. Oh, look at this. I have had this before and I love using this kind of thing. And in fact, I might use this today. Next thing we shall feast our eyes upon is this, what's it called? Vine rope pack. Okay, look at how beautiful this is, especially when I put these earthly tones together. Look how gorgeous this looks in a nature journal. Maybe not the yellow one, maybe this one. Look at this. In a nature journal, nature themed journal, I should say. Oh, stunning. Love it. Next in line, we have some Tagalicious gorgeousness. I love using this on journal covers and in pockets and little journaling spots and all that fun stuff. I might be using this today. Oh, this one must have fallen out. Look at this. This is from the previous pack, the pastel mesh pack. Oh, stunning. Oh, check this beauty out. Yes, it's 2024 calendar and 2024 is nearly at an end, but I can still use this because look at all this wonderful collage material and little pocket fillers, fillers, and fun stuff. Next up, we have this mighty fine goodness. Now, this is a textured fabric ribbon pack, and I love how this looks. I think it's going to look great on top of tags or journal closures and bows and all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's almost like sari silk, a little bit thicker. I'm so eager to start creating today that I'm not sure if I've shown you everything. I think I have. If I miss something, I might have to like film it later on. But this is a strings material pack, it's called, and it's got all sorts of this beautiful fiber gorgeousness here, and I use quite a lot of this in my journal making. And in fact, I'm thinking that I'm going to use this today as well. I have selected the categories that I want to use today because I want to make journals. I want to make like mini journals. I'm going to use these for my covers, and obviously I need to add my own papers and things like that. So this is all I'm going to use today. I'm going to try and limit myself and not bring any of my other stuff in, because then, you know, it can just get messy with overthinking and decision making. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is, like I said, these are going to be my covers. So I'm going to go ahead and fold some papers in half to create covers. And as I'm working to keep myself organized, I'm going to keep all the things and materials I want to use in this box on the side on my table. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the mighty fine goodness of this. How beautiful. I want to make a lot of journals today. Just look at this. Obviously I can't use this for a cover, so I'll put these aside. This also might be a little bit too flimsy, so whichever ones I can't use, I'll just put them aside. Look, oh, I love this stuff. Look at this. This is the type of thing I just know for a fact that I'm going to be hoarding for a while. Oh, look. And as I'm folding this over here, I'm thinking about how this is gonna go. I was initially planning on using that twine for binding the pages into the covers, but I decided as I'm folding this not to bind. I'm not gonna sew because there's a lot of signatures, there's a lot of journals. I'm not even gonna sew the journals in. They will be removable pages, but they will be bound. How stunning is this? I love these earthly tones. Okay, I have 18. How many do I want to make? Do I want to make 50? I think I want to make more than 18. I want to make 30 journals. So I'm going to dive into my own stash. This is also from Taperology, from previous projects that I've made, or boxes that I've had, I should say. So I still have this beautiful, I've used up all of this kind of stuff, all this interesting stuff, like all of these. I've used them all up, and I'm really glad I got more because these look absolutely stunning on projects. I'm going to show you actually. This is something I'm working on as a future tutorial, but I wanted to show you how I've used all of those fun. You can't really see anything, can you? Look at how cool that looks. Stunning. And here we go. My covers are ready. I have 30 covers. I don't know why I challenged myself to do 30 journals, but won't it be cool? At the end of this video, I will have 30 journals, and then I can sell them at a craft fair. I can sell them in my Etsy. I can do like 5 a pack. I might do that. We'll see. All right, next thing I want to do, let me just contemplate where I should go from here. So obviously these are going to go on the covers. It's gonna look something like this. And then of course I'm thinking of, yes, this is what I'm gonna do next. I'm going to use this to wrap around the cover. In fact, this one is perfect. Going back to the OG way of doing things, I'm going to write each step down. And then at the end, you'll have a sheet of steps to follow of mass making journals. What should we call this project? Mass journal making. So we folded the covers. Next thing I'm going to do is wrap lace around the cover, and we're going to do vertical. So what I'll do, obviously I'm not going to do each step for all 30 on screen, because then we'll be here for a very long time. So I will speed up most of the stuff, but the one that I'm doing to show you how to do it, obviously I'll do it in real time. Glue this down. I'm not sure how I'm going to glue it down yet because it's so meshy. So this glue is just going to kind of come right through, but that's fine. I will think of ways. Now this will get stuck to my desk, but that's fine with me because I can clean it up easily. And now I need to attach this down. So I'll just use masking tape. How's that going to look? Oh yes. And now I really want to hold it down, perhaps pull it even tighter. So each step I'm going to do on all of the covers. Off I go. I'm going to speed everything up and I'll see you real soon. So just to reiterate here, see how I only glued a little bit down here, which is going to be hidden with the centerpiece anyway. And then we have this loose type of lace. Loose, you know. So what I do when everything is centered and the way I like it, I do use a book page underneath to kind of stop it from the glue from going on my desk. I glue down the masking tape onto the lace and kind of pull it tight. I hope that makes sense. It doesn't have to be completely tight, but we don't want very, very loose lace. If you're going to sew, it doesn't really matter. I'm not planning on sewing. I really want to keep this as simple as possible, which is why I'm not going to sew the signatures in. I want to make it, I'm making 30. They need to be quick, okay? So we're just getting down to business. Nice and flush. All right, that's all done. So the next thing that I want to do before anything else is to reinforce the spine. Some of these papers are quite flimsy and I'm making journals, so I need some sort of structure in there. So the next thing I'm going to do, masking tape on spine, and I'm going to double it up. That's one layer. I like using masking tape because it has a little bit of give and I find that it's sturdy enough to do the job. So now that the masking tape is applied, we need to refold. And give it a little bit of a score and done. And now it's time for the front cover piece. At this stage, the journal covers are going to look like this on the inside. Fret not, we shall be fixing that. But before we do anything like that, we're going to do the front cover piece. Get it on there, get it over and done with. And luckily for me, these any of these paper doilies that I put on is gonna look good. Look at this. Look how gorgeous that looks. I am feeling like something round is going to look really cute. Something like this. There's just so many choices. Perhaps something like this. Oh, I like this one. I'm not even gonna keep looking. So each journal cover is now going to get a piece glued on top. Now with this doily type little pieces, it's kind of difficult to glue them down because of all these little intricate, you know, fragile little parts. But I'm going to work through it. I'm going to use glue on here, but then I'm going to use something like this with a fine tip, and I'm going to apply the glue. I'll do it on camera. You'll see me do it. I will speed it up. But there is also this kind of an option. I found this at a craft fair. It's a glue sponge. You can make your own. I'm pretty sure there's YouTube videos on how you can make your own. So basically what this is, I'm not going to use it because I haven't tried it yet. This is still something that I want to try. But this is actually for die cuts, thin or delicate material. I love it. So you know what you do? You just kind of put that on there. I don't want to do it. I don't know why I want to. I just want to do it off camera. But you put it on and you kind of squeeze it down. Remember in the post office, they used to have, like, for postage stamps, they had the sponge thing, you know, so they don't have to lick the postage stamps. Anyway, oh, well, the glue is on there now, isn't it? Oh, goodness. So anyway, I'm going to do it my way because I don't even know how old this is. Maybe it's quite old. But I purchased it as, you know, it was only $3 and I thought, well, I can make my own, but it's good to have it there. Anyway, let's get up close and personal. All right, so applying the glue. And then I'm going in with this fine tip glue. And I'm going to make my life difficult here. And I'm just going to do this for all 30 journals. And of course, once the glue is applied, I'm going to pop this on top of the lace. And I'm going to glue it right down. Glue it down, girl. Or as Annie would say, glue it down. No, I can't. I need to do more practicing. All right, here we go. I'm going to do that another 29 times. All right, now that that is all done, we are going to move on to step number 5, which is a closure. I want to have a closure on these little booklets just because I want to. And we're going to do both front and back. I am going to use this twine for my closures. So I'm going to go, each journal is going to get one that suits it. So for this one here, I'm going to choose this twine. And it doesn't have to be thick. It doesn't have to be, I mean, you can use ribbon or lace or lots of different things, but I'm using the twine. So first I'm going to attach the twine right over here like so, right there in the middle. I might even want to be a little bit precise, not necessary, I just feel like it at the moment. So that's my middle, and I am going to apply glue, maybe even do something like that. Put the twine down, like so, and back to my friend, the masking tape. I might want to have this edge straight, and then I can apply it nearly all the way to the edge. I'm not going to be doing any sewing, and hence the glue and the masking tape, and just making sure that it doesn't go anywhere. You can of course go ahead and sew around at a later stage, not right now because there's still steps we need to do. Okay, so that's going to be closure, but I want to have a little wrap around closure right here. So the next thing I'm going to do, and that's where these come in, brads. Perfect. I'm probably not going to have 30 brads. I don't think there's definitely not 30 in there, but I'll think of something. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So now I need a little circle. I'm going to use this offcut piece and just punch out a little circle and ink the edges. And now I'm going to poke a hole right there somewhere in the middle. And that's where the brad is going to go through, but I'm not going to put the brad through yet because I need to mark on my cover where I need to put this circle. So up close and personal again. So this is where I want it because this is my twine and I want this circle somewhere there. So I can do this. Perfect. I have a little dot there that I can see, and now I can punch a little hole there. Excellento. And now the brad can go through the circle like so, and then through the journal cover, just like so. Ooh, that's gonna look nice. And we can go ahead and close the little feet. Loveliness. And then give this a little bit of a, lift, I suppose. And then, not yet, but eventually that's going to be the closure. Oh yes, indeed, it is. That's going to be the closure. All right, now I need to repeat this. You guessed it, another 29 times. And here they are in all their glory, all done and ready to go. At this point, I would recommend perhaps not making 30 journals in one go, because, after a while it gets a little bit tedious doing the same thing over and over again. But I have committed and I shall continue with this endeavor. So the next thing we want to do is cover all of this. So we just need to cover the front and the back. So step number 6 is to prepare front and back panels. We need to cut them down and ink the edges. I've pulled out some scrapbook papers that have some weight. Okay, this one is almost cardstock. It doesn't have to be that thick, but I didn't want, this is thinner. I didn't want really flimsy paper, because now I'm trying to add sturdiness to these covers, which are quite, very thin, quite flimsy. So I pulled out some pieces that I have like this. The front and back panels, they don't have to be the same. We can make it fun and have, 2 different scrapbook papers. So anyway, now what I'm going to do is cut these down to size for all of them. So all of my booklets are the same size, and this size paper is actually half of copy paper, which is 8 and something. I can't remember them, at 8.5 by 11 inches, I think. I'm not sure. Standard A4 size paper, and this is half of that. So that's going to come in handy when we do our signatures, which is the next step. But for now, the good thing is that I can measure a panel. And here I'm gonna do it right now. So basically I'm gonna go, this is the crease of my spine, which you can't see in the video, but it's fine. And I'm gonna go nearly to the spine. You're going to see better when it's all cut down. And then, so that's the width. And then the height of the paper, I'm gonna go almost exactly the same size as my cover here. All right, so now when I cut this down, I have the size that I need for all of the panels. I have 30 journals, which means that I need 60 individual pieces. All right, so here's one. I'm just going to double check. I might even use this side. Actually, I'll use this side because you can see better. I'm just gonna double check the size. Perfect. So I'll show you what I'm looking at. Let's get close. I want to leave a slight little edge of blue or the cover color all around, but it's not necessary. I want to bring this piece all the way to the edge here to cover this, because this is the closure and I want that covered. So I want to go all the way, almost, maybe leave a tiny little sliver of the blue. These are all minor details. Like, I'm just gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. And then over here at the spine, we're leaving a little bit of space. So what will happen, it's going to look like this once I cut this piece down as well. I'm leaving about that much of the spine visible. You can, if you want to, just use one large piece of paper and go ahead and glue it down and cover the whole thing like this and make a, that might be easier. I don't know. I prefer this way because I don't want any more kind of buckling and things happening here at the spine. So I have my piece cut down, and now I know the size, and I'm going to use this as a reference for the next 59 pieces that I have to cut down. And once you get into the swing of things, you can do a few at a time. I think it's just the first two that you kind of have to get precise, and then you can use that for all of the others. All right, off I go. And here is my stack ready to go. I got a little bit carried away and I have way more than what I need here, but that's fine because I will use this for something. Okay, next step is to ink all the edges. If you want to ink all the edges, actually I'm not going to ink them all at once. I am going to start kind of choosing what goes where kind of thing, and then I check if I need to adjust anything. If I might have some panels that are too large, because I know that some of the pages I had to trim down a little bit to make them even. Anyway, so what I'll do is I will work one by one. So at this point I'm going to start pulling out the covers one by one. All right, so that's decided. Now I'm going to ink the edges. And we are ready for our next step, which is, I'm sure you've guessed it, it's to glue the panels down. Here it is, panel number 1. I'm going to apply glue all over, get really close to the edges. Pop this down and hide all the monstrosity underneath. And then press down. When you're happy with the placement, press down. Okay, and now the back panel. Everything is nice and neat and glued down beautifully. Focus on the little details like this here. We don't want any gaping openings there where the string is. And also another place to pay attention is along this edge here, because we have the brad feet underneath, which could be lifting that paper up a little bit. So have a look at that. Look how neat that looks. Absolute perfection. This is what I don't know. What am I trying to say? I don't know. This is what I like, maybe. All right, now I need to repeat this another 29 times. Oh, yes. Choosing the panels, checking the size. I don't know what happened here. This one's way too short and this one's way too long. But at this stage, before I do the inking of the edges, I'm gonna fix all of those little details. Ink the edges. All right. Ani, what should I do next?
You should glue it down.
All right then, glue it down I shall. All right, once everything is glued down and looking like this, which mine aren't all glued down, I'll get to it, but I want to show you the next step. All right, the next step is signatures. I don't know what's going on with my writing today, but I'm sure you can read it. First thing we're going to do is cut the paper down. So the good thing is about this project is that this paper, like I said before, is half of standard copy paper. Just cut in half like this, which means if I go and get a sheet of standard A4 copy paper letterhead, they call different things in different parts of the world, but if I was to get one of those and chop it in half, I have 2 pages for my journal. If I was to get 5 pages, let's say, which is what I've got here, and by the way, I've chosen different types of papers, just personal preference. I have avocado dyed, Easter egg dyed, coffee dyed, I can't remember what this is, maybe onion skin, and 1 undyed paper. I have 5 pages here. I have 5 pages here. I'm gonna take the very top page and kind of give it a little bit of a fold there, and then give myself a little mark where I need to chop it in half. And then I'm going to do all 5 pages at the same time. And what I have here is pages ready for 2 journals, and I'm making 30. So I need another 28 of these. I can very easily calculate how many sheets I need in advance. Let's say, you know, you might want to know in advance when you go and grab your paper how many pages you're going to need. So basically, if I'm doing 5 per signature, let's just do this first of all. Out of each page, I get 2 pages because I'm cutting it in half. So I am making 30 journals, and I'm gonna have 5 sheets in each journal. 5 of these half sheets. So that means, let's say 30 times 5. How many do I need? I need 150 sheets. 150 individual sheets of this. But how many of that is full sheets before I cut them down? Well, we're going to divide that by 2. So in total, I need 75 full uncut sheets like this. Then I'm going to cut in half, and that's going to give me 150 individual sheets, which then I'm going to distribute into 30 journals. 150 divided by 30 is 5 sheets per journal. Okay, I do not know why we went into all of this, but we did. So at this point, I'm going to start cutting down my sheets, and I'm going to be placing them like this. So it's easy for me later on to just come and grab, you know, for the journal. So there's 2. Next batch, I have 5 sheets. Again, I have all different colors, just using up some of this Easter egg dye paper. If you want to see that video, I'm going to link it down below. So I'm doing 5 sheets at a time, find the middle, and cut in half, and done. And here is my pile of cut down papers. I have everything I need right here ready to go. So now that the paper is cut, I'm not liking this yellow one. I'm gonna go with this one to show you because it's showing up better on camera. Anyway, I have my paper cut. The next thing we're going to do is fold the paper in half. All right, so here are my 5 papers, and I'm going to fold them all in half at the same time rather than one by one. That's going to give you a rounded spine rather than like a really sharp kind of an edge. So if you have a look here, I don't know how well you can see how that spine is rounded, rather than if you were to fold your pages individually. 1, it's going to take longer, and 2, it's going to give you more of a pointy, crisp fold here, which I like. I like to have that crispy fold when I'm sewing in the signatures. I prefer that, but because I won't be sewing this, I will be wrapping it around. I prefer this rounded edge. Again, minor detail. All right, so you fold all of your pieces or your signatures. And also might be a good idea at this point, which I forgot to mention, is to make sure that at this point the pages are in the order that you want them. So place your pages in order and then fold. Well, here they are in all their glory. Look how fabulous that's looking. So nice. It's making me want to make a humongous journal. I'm just getting so many ideas just looking at this. How scrumptious. All right, that's enough of that. We have finished with that section of the video. So our next step will be wrap the signature. I don't know if that's going to be even more confusing when I wrote that down, but basically what I have in mind is this. We have our cover, we have our signature. By the way, because we're using 5 papers, you're going to have a little paper sticking out because, you know, they're folded in half and stuff like that. So when you close your cover, you'll be able to see the papers like this, which I really like that look. Otherwise, you can shorten those pages down, which I'm sure you already know this anyway. So now you can go ahead and do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but that's not what I'm going to do, as I've mentioned a few times already. My plan is to use these fibers and to make these journals fun, right? So I'm going to use this to bind the signature and the cover together, And now at this point, I just want to choose which one goes the best. Wow, this is a really tough choice. I'm going to go with this one here. And here's what we're going to do. If I take a peek inside here, I just worked this out, so I have to show you. Because I'm like, where's the beginning? Where's the end? So if you have a look inside, then you can see where the thread begins there. Hope that helps. All right, anyway, that wasn't that funny, was it? I don't know why I'm laughing. All right, here is my thread. Now, I don't know if I want to use this many threads. There's actually 10 threads in here, including this really very thin one here, the little gold thread. So at this point, I could perhaps, instead of using this whole chunky thing, I could perhaps just use half. And that way I can double up my threads that I have. I actually think I like that idea. All right, perfect. That's what I did. Yes, I did. And now this is what I'm going to work with. So I'm simply going to do a little bit of a wrapping business over here. I'm going to start here. I'm going to leave a tail because I might want to do a bow or beads or something there. And then I'm going to go in right there in the middle signature and wrap around the spine. Perhaps I can do a knot here at this point, or I'll wrap one more time. Perfect. Come back out. So I've wrapped twice. Now I can chop off what I don't need. And here we are. So I have this one that I started with, and I have this one where I ended up. And now I'm going to go up here, and then I'm going to go underneath all of the strings. And here we go. And now here I can tie a knot. Lovely. Oh, yes. Look at that. It's not looking great yet. It's not done. All right. So essentially we have wrapped the signatures at the signature. Essentially, these can be removable pages. All right. Now we're going to tie a bow. Maybe I can leave the tails longer for the next journal so that I can have a bow and long tails, or I could make the bow smaller, something like this, or I could perhaps not use all the threads for the bow. Perhaps I can just do maybe some of the threads. Oh, the options. So that way we have the bow, which is probably a little bit too big at the moment. I can make it smaller. We can close the journal now so it's not in our way. All right, so that's that one for now. Of course, it's not done yet. I just want to do one more on camera, so we'll do this one. Choose a little signature. Perhaps I can go for blue. Well, that's not really blue, is it? It's more purple. But anyway, I'm going to go for that, even though the yellow would look quite nice. I might go for the yellow. There's quite a bit of that yellow sticking out. Do I like that, or do I want to chop it down? It really depends on what I have over here. I'm going to add some of my own thing. I have this bronze twine kind of a thing. Anyway, I think it's going to look really nice with that. Look how scrumptious this is. Again, I'm going to split the threads. I don't need this many. Very easily done. Oh, yeah. Already this looks better. All right, here comes the wrapping. I'm just going to show you this one, and then I'll do everything else off camera. Find the middle of my signature and go on the inside. Oh, look at that. Again, inside and out. And now I can chop this off. Excellent. And now I can tie a knot. So I'm going to lift everything up. Lift it up. And this one can go underneath. And you can actually, if you want, this bow doesn't have to be up the top. I'm deciding to have it up the top. You can have it down here, you know, totally up to you where you can just move this down. You see that? You can just move it down there and then tie your little thing there. But I want it at the top. Scrumptious. That's looking mighty fine. Okay, we can leave it like this, or we can do the whole bow thing. So I'm wondering, how's this looking with the bow? It's not bad. And maybe we can give it a bit of a haircut here. Can leave it long. I don't want them all the same length, so some will be longer, some will be shorter. You know the drill. All right, perfect. Now I'm going to repeat, and repeat some more, and then I'll be back. I'll be back. I just realized that this whole time my camera lens had hand cream on it. I used hand cream just before filming, and hence everything was muted down a little bit, and you couldn't really see the scrumptiousness of this beauty. I think it took away a little bit of the vividness of the colors. So now we are taking this moment to acknowledge this absolute scrumptious cutie pie. I don't know what else to call it. Anyway, all right, here is a little sample of some of the ones that I've done, and we only have one more thing to do. I just wanted to mention at this stage, by the way, you don't have to do elaborate anything on the spine here for the wrapping. You can just do one little piece of string like this to hold everything together, or you can do like a medium kind of thing like this, just a couple of little pieces, or you can really go to town like this one. It's totally up to you. And also you don't have to have a bow of any sort up the top. It's just what I've been doing, but you most definitely can just leave those strings hanging down. All right, so as I said, there's one more thing to do. So what might that be? Well, it's the finishing touch. We are adding beads to the closure. And by the way, I will show you all of the journals when we're finished with all the steps, and I'll show you them all at the end. All right, so we are now adding beads to this piece of string here, which is why I left it long, so that I have, enough space. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, just a couple of beads here to finish it off. All right, so here's what I've decided for this one. I'm gonna look at the colors in the journal, and then I'll try and kind of tie it in with the beads, but I don't want to spend too much time overthinking this because I have 30 of this to do. So I'm just gonna go with what I've chosen here. But first thing, before I start putting on the beads, is I'm going to tie a knot, and I want the beads to start there somewhere. And by the way, I'm wrapping this twice. So I'm wrapping the closure 2 times like this, and then I tie a knot a little bit further away. And now I'm going to add the beads. I'm using my beading needle, which looks like this. And off I go. And once the beads are on, I can remove the beading needle. And now what I'm going to do, of course, is tie a knot right here to hold that last bead in place. I'm going to bring that knot all the way up to the last needle. To the last bead. Perfect. And I'm going to check if the bead can go through. It can, so I need one more little knot over the top. Okay, perfect. And chop this off. And here we go. This one is officially done. And now I'm gonna go and finish the other ones, and then I'll show you all of them one by one. And here they are in all their glory, 30 journals made, done and dusted. Would I be doing this again? Oh, hell no. Well, at least not for a little while. I need to decompress after this. All right, I'm going to show you all of them one by one. They're all different, and they all have something unique and special about them. So this will be quick. You will notice on this one, I don't have a bow here up the top. I just left the strings hanging down, and then I added some beads here. So that makes like a tassel that stays there, can be moved out of the way, of course, while writing. And then the beads on the closure, quite fancy. This one I especially love. It's very soft, very different to the one I've just shown you. It's not like vintage looking. It's more like, I don't know, this is one of those fibers that I said reminded me of Easter Bunny, or like I don't know what it's. Anyway, here it is. I don't need to speak really. I think it's so beautiful, and I went with the silver kind of a thing, and I have some beads here, of course, on the little tassels on the sides, and I do have a bow up there as well. Here's another soft one. This one has some pinks in the picture here. So I added pinks, of course, here. And then you can see I just really love the bead idea on the tassel here. I didn't do the bow. And here's the closure. I kind of went with, as I was beading here, the same kind of a thing, you know, for over here and then on the tassel on the side as well. Trying to keep it all kind of tied in and looking real beautiful. Next we have this beautiful purple kind of themed one. I did the bow up here. I'm not sure, I might have done this one on camera now. Everything's muddled up in my brain now because there's so many. And then, you know, the beads are also dark purple, which is not really showing through, but you get the idea. Then we have this one with the bow up the top and some beads and the closure. Then we have this gorgeous beauty here. I added some other colors in the, you know, the wrapping around stitch because I thought, you know, tying in the colors here to the colors here, and then you get the idea. I did say we'll go through this quick, so we better hurry up. Again, you can see that, those details. Look how gorgeous this looks. Look at that beauty. And then something like this also with very contrasting colors looks quite beautiful. We have this blue lacy bit there, and then I added blue here and then white. And this one has like a sparkly thing happening there, and I made that into a bow, and I have the gold and then added gold here and the blue. And I think it looks really beautiful with the contrast of the white and blue. Speaking of contrasts, here's another one. I added red, even though there's no red. I just went with it, added red thread here. You can see those beautiful threads. I actually ended up separating a lot of the threads. I'll tell you what I mean in a moment. And then, you know, the beading, it looks a little bit, the whole thing doesn't look boho, but look at this gorgeousness. Here's another kind of a contrasting one, blue and the white, and then some beads, and yeah, there's that one. We can now hurry up a little bit with this because I don't need to do any more speaking, but you can see kind of what's going on here. We can do two at a time, and I have to say you can totally see a difference between the ones that I did at the very beginning, and as I kept kind of going, they started getting more and more extravagant. I started adding more threads and more beads, and beads here and there and everywhere. We have another beautiful soft one, soft colors, bit of pearl, bit of silver. Love that one. And I love this one. This one might even be my favorite. It's very hard to choose. Contrast again, we have black and we have the white here, and black and gold, my favorite. And I really loved this closure, these sequence of beads that I ended up kind of repeating the same thing on a few different journals. Like this one, you can see that sequence of beads. I've got gold and black, but then over here we have silver. So I realized that I don't mind at all mixing gold and silver. For me, that was one of those things that you just never do. But now I've totally changed my mind. Then we have this one here. These turquoise beads just came out of nowhere. You know, they don't go with anything. I suppose they do go with this thread here, which by the way is from my own stash, and it looks like this hairy little fur ball. Then we have this gorgeous beauty, some beads here, some beads here, and of course that. And then we have this gorgeousness galore. Look at this sequence of beads. Oh my, somebody is bound to ask me, where do you get your beads from? So I get my beads from the same place I get everything else. Maybe not everything, but beads in particular, I definitely get from secondhand shops, and also rescue center, and my friends who give me their old jewelry. All right, here's this one, bit of blue madness going on over here. We can see the blue pages. We can see a bit of blue there, blue there, blue there, blue there. You have seen this one, but we've just said blue, so I wanted to show you this again. I love the complementary colors, the blue and the orange. I think it looks beautiful. Let's see on my color wheel. I'm not very good with colors, but you can see orange and blue. Oh, they go so good together. I mean, you can see right away how beautiful that looks. I love this one. Again, we have that same sequence of beads that I used with the gold and the black. I kind of did it to all of the black ones, and Then I have a bit of gold here on the side. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. And look at this beautiful trim. Isn't it just stunning? Then we have this one here. And yeah, I mean, feast your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I just did that. I apologize. I do love this one random blue bead. It's just the one. And then, you know, these little blue dots from that trim, from that thing I've just shown you before, the yarn, that looks like I used it in a lot of the journals. And here is this one. And then we have this one. Check out the beauty. Do you want to come closer? I mean, I don't know. You might want to have a closer look. How's that for closer? Look at that. Isn't it just beautiful? Perhaps don't look at my hands and the dry hands. Okay, we are nearly there. Look at this. A feast, my friends. And here's this one. This one's just, you know, a whole lot of hairy stuff happening over here. Perhaps it needs a little bit of a shave. Clearly I'm losing the plot. I do like this. I like it. I do. And of course this one, which you have seen. I think I've done this one. I forget. What did I do? What did I film and what didn't I film? Clearly I'm losing my mind.
Oh no, I've lost it.
Have you also lost your mind? Do you wake up in the morning thinking, have I lost my mind? Then this video is for you. Call 1-800-539-2227. No, I'm just kidding. Is it time? Is it time for me to stop? I think so. I think I'm going to leave it here for today. But before I go, I need to ask you to please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you feel inspired? I always ask the same question at the end of all of my videos because for me, that's what this is all about. Well, not really. I do love creating, but I also love inspiring. So I really hope that you feel inspired to make some journals. Perhaps you haven't lost your mind and you're not going to be making 30 journals in one go. Perhaps you have lost your mind and you've made more than 30. I was actually contemplating making 50. Well, I know I won't be doing that. I think for that kind of thing, it has to be an ongoing process that takes a week or 2 or 3, you know, not all in one day. So I definitely won't be doing that again. Anyway, if you're still here, thank you so much for being here. Let me know if you're still here. And let me know, I was going to say if you feel inspired, but I've already said that. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. After all that. And I just realized I haven't put this sheet up on screen. So here we are again. And here's the sheet if you want to take a screenshot or copy down the steps. And now for real, this third time lucky, she's leaving. She's exiting the building.